Welcome back to Point Blank. I am Nikki.
And I'm Lauren.
And we are two best friends in our 30s on opposite sides of life, trying to navigate it, find our people, and just chat along the way. And today's episode is kind of a fun one in the current time because it's something I very recently have just done, but it's about moving and things you need to look for when you're moving, or what could be important to you when you're moving, or maybe some tips and tricks on how to find the right spot for you specifically. So I just thought it would be beneficial to kind of talk about that. I'm sure maybe some people out there listening might be in the same boat and they might want to get out their parents' house, or they might get a new job, or good things are happening in their lives, and we've got to go up and onward.
Yes.
And let me tell you, it's up and somewhere because it's not for the weak.
No, it's
not. Finding a place to live is very difficult. And a lot of the time too, like if you're thinking about it, in my situation, I was like, oh, I live at my parents' house, which means I don't have a deadline like on rent. Like I don't have to be out by a certain time, blah, blah, blah. Little did I know. They're like, maybe you don't have to be out at a certain time, but you got to be in by a certain time. So
exactly.
Like things went real fast, like 0 to 1,000 in a week, basically. But, Laura and I were talking just kind of about, because like I said in our intro too, we're in two different parts of life. So like what I might think I need might be way different than what she's like focused on if she were to move. And she pretty recently moved out of her parents too, like a year at this point now, right? Like in a month or so. So yeah, we're gonna just chat about that a bit. So grab a pen and paper, because maybe we'll say something that you might want to jot down. What's the first thing for you? I mean, I feel like I could probably guess, but mama four, but what are you looking for when you're moving into somewhere?
I feel like first things first is definitely like the school district and stuff, like because obviously wherever you're at, like that's where your kids are going to be going to school, right? So it's like obviously you want to look at like maybe the schools, or obviously they have like choice, where you could like put in a request on a form or whatever to like request to go somewhere else, but like that doesn't always go through, right? So it's like you obviously want to look at like the neighborhood. To me, I don't really look at like if it's like I don't like there's a lot of kids. I really don't look at that. I feel like the main thing, I'm like, okay, if we're like in this zone, like where are we zoned to go to school? You know what I mean? I feel like those for sure are like a huge one for me.
That makes sense.
So I guess I would start off on that note.
Well, here's my question about that though, because I had my real estate license, right? I was doing that for quite a while and have a lot of experience in there. And like, I'm pretty sure, and I could be wrong, but like agents can't disclose like what quote unquote good schools are. Like maybe they can, but they can't like say really much about it. They're like, oh, it's a great school zone, or oh, it's a great school district. And you're like, oh, well, why?
Right.
What makes it good? And it's like, they can't really say much.
Right.
So I almost feel like the resource that you're trying to like use if you're looking for a new place, like if you're obviously not going like the apartment complex route, but even then I think the leasing agents have real estate licenses. Maybe I could be wrong. I could be just talking out of my ass right now, but
I don't know if they have one, but I feel like for me, if you look it up too, and for example, they do have like a school website where you could just like type in like your address and it'll show you like where you're zoned for. So like I know for ours, but obviously like I went to school there myself, so it's like it was a no-brainer. Like I already know about it, but I don't know, like to me that was kind of a big one, right? I'm like, okay, well I don't want my kids going, to some random school I know nothing about. Like for me, like I'm familiar with this school. There's still some of the same teachers, which is super cool. Like all my kids have one of the teachers, like their teachers were there when I was there. So like I think that's pretty cool. Like the turnover is super low, which is very nice. And it's also nice too, just because like the kids with them being in sports and stuff, it's like it's all in the surrounding cities, right? And so it's like they know a lot of the kids from that too that'll be at their school, and just stuff like that. So I feel like that's super beneficial. But definitely the schools too, just because obviously it's not just obviously it depends on where your kids are in the middle of, right? Like it could be junior high, high school, whatever.
That's rough. Yeah. Like if you have to move a kid in like junior high, high school, that's tough.
But then think about it, right? It's like I'm currently just looking for where I'm at now, right? Because I feel like by the time they raise the rent, like I'm also like, okay, well, who knows if we'll even be here for the next 3 years? Like they may raise the rent so high, I'm gonna have to go maybe look somewhere else. You know what I mean? So I'm currently like, I feel like that's also one thing to note. Like I don't look that far ahead. I look at just the point of like, okay, where do my kids need to go to the school for the next like maybe like year or two?
That makes sense.
I don't know. Yeah,
because these places
about
raising rents, what is it, 8 to 10% or something? I don't even know if there's a cap. I don't know. I think it depends on when the building was built or whatever. But it's like these places be raising. They're not missing a beat.
No, and it's honestly it's so crazy because like the last place we were at, they raised it like $300 every year. You're just like, I can't even fathom Like, and I'm like looking around, I'm like, what am I paying for that's costing that much more, you know?
No, seriously, it's like, are you renovating my place? Are you putting better appliances in? Are you updating the windows? Are you like, why?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think about that all the time here. I'm like, I signed on a 16 month lease. I had an option of 16 or 18. I'm starting to think maybe I should just took the 18. So I have to worry about it. But I'm like, okay, 16 is like, I'm 95% probably gonna have to move after 16 months because
Yeah.
not that, I mean, maybe I could still afford it, but it's like, I just don't, like, why would I do that when I could find a decently just as good place? Maybe it's 10 minutes further out, but at that point, like, I know my space, I know my area. It's like to save $800 or something, like, yeah, that's kind of a no-brainer. Again, like the only way this one worked out is because they had so many specials going on. It's like brand new. They're
Right.
trying to fill vacancies. It's like, had that special not been popping off, like, I'll see you later, I would not be here.
Well, let's go into yours then. So I think my first one would definitely be like the school zone and stuff like that. What would yours be?
Yeah, I think for me, I was really looking for location to work because, and I think this kind of was something that was really low on my list until I started looking around. And then I was like, damn, like, I love the fact that I'm less than 10 minutes away from where I'm going to be working. Because granted, historically, I've been working fully remote for like last 4 or 5 years, and this one I have to be fully on site, which there is opportunity for hybrid work eventually. I just don't know what that looks like, so I'm not really counting on it anytime soon. So it's like, okay, like, I need to be somewhere that I'm not stressed out about traffic, because I'm in a new place too. It's like, I don't know where I am. It's like traffic, if I'm 20, 30, 40 minutes out, that's like an additional almost 2 hours of commute time on top of my long ass days, because I work 9-hour days because I have a 980 schedule. And so it's just like, I don't know. Like, for me, location was not so high. And then all of a sudden I was like, wait, this is like the number one thing.
Yeah, like wait.
Because that's what everyone says, right? It's like, buy the ugliest house on the best street. This is kind of like the cutest house on the best street, but it's also like, it just makes such a difference when the location of where you're at and relative, like in regards to where you're spending most of your time. Like for me, it's the office. Like maybe for somebody else, it would be like, you know, if you're a stay-at-home mom, it would be like the kids' schools or like the grocery stores you like, or like whatever makes your life easier. So it's kind of like, for me, that was just something that surprised me a bit. I thought I could be like, oh, people commute like an hour each way and then I'm like looking around like, oh hell no, I'm not doing that.
I feel like location's actually really big. I feel like we look at the same stretch of land, like down by like from your house all the way to where I feel like that is like our stretch of land, and it's like I have to find something within that vicinity, you know, because it's like that's what we want, that's all we know. I know where everything is, you know what I mean? It's by everything that we've ever needed. So like to me, like that's the stretch of land I'm looking at. I'm not looking at anything outside of that stretch.
Yeah, and well,
You know
here's
what I
the
mean?
other thing, when you're uprooting your life and you're moving somewhere, and maybe it's, you know, maybe it's down the block, but most times out of none, it's like a different city or a new county or a new area, and it's like you want to be able to like feel at home from what like, you know, you're used to, and it not be a total shock to the system as much as possible. And so I feel like when you're driving around, you're looking at places, like you really have to think about that. It's like, okay, yeah, maybe this place is cheaper. Maybe I can get more bang for my buck here, but I do not want to go on a walk outside. I don't want to leave the apartment gates. Like, I'm not trying to do none of that in this spot. And it's just like, that's not worth it. You uproot your life, you change everything about your life, and then, you know, you're stressed at a new job, stressed at a new location. You're driving 45 minutes back home to a place you don't even like. You're driving in, you see ugly stuff. You're like, God, this is like, and you're like depressed. And then it's just like, whoa, we can't have it. We can't have it.
Especially when you've looked at so many places and you're like, wait, I could have easily have gone over to this place. You know what I mean? That looks so much better for like what, an extra like 100, 200. You know what I mean? You're like, okay, yeah, that probably would have been worth it.
Yeah, and
But
even
it
if it's not
depends on
even
how you
100 or
look at
200.
it, though, because like you said, right? Like if the other place maybe wouldn't have raised it as high, you know, and then you're like sitting there like, well, wait, then I wouldn't have to move out next year versus the other place I may or may actually have to move out. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Next year.
There was like another place that was a high luxury apartment complex I looked at that was about, like, if I got the garage option over there, which I would have done, it'd be about $200, $300 cheaper than this one without a garage. And at the time, I thought that was very expensive. But again, because of the deal, it's like I would actually be paying more to be there. And it was like a little bit further out. Not a horrible area, but definitely not like this.
Right.
And it's just like those little things like truly matter. Like, could I have just lived in the walls of that apartment and been dandy? Yeah. it was really nice. But like for what? For $200 cheaper? I don't know. Actually, no, it wasn't. Like I said, it was actually more because they weren't running any specials. Had they been running the same special, I probably would have ended up over there though.
Yeah. I was gonna say that was another one on the list. Is like if they're running a good special,
you
I
have
feel like
to
that's
find a good
also
special.
huge.
And you have to negotiate things too. I think a lot of people think they can't negotiate like at apartment complexes, but like you can. You can negotiate some things. You can like maybe your parking spot, or like might be able to do like a look and lease,
a better spot or something. You know, yeah, the look and lease. I think we got that.
A lot of places will run those too, but like even if they aren't saying they're running anything, I think at a minimum you could try to negotiate. Like if I lease today, will you give me $1,000 off the first month or $1,500 or whatever? So I would advocate in that way if like, you know, that could help. But most places will run specials. I will say though, like from like the end of May, early June to like early September is probably the worst time to try to move. So if you can move outside of that time, like that's another thing on the list is kind of the timing of the move. And obviously life happens in situation. If you have to move in the summer, you have to move. But like specials and things are not as great in the summer because they just know that's when people move because kids are out of school and people have free time. And it's just like, that's the time to do it.
That's when the prices are the highest too. So that's honestly the worst time to possibly move is the summer.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend.
So it's like if you can avoid it, then you need to avoid it
at all costs.
Yeah.
I think the other thing to like look for too, like location is kind of this big umbrella thing, but like specifically like I'd mentioned work because you're going to spend most of your time there, and it sounds silly, but just stores that remind you of like where you're at. Like I at my parents' house was surrounded by Vons and Starbucks and Target. And so when I'm out here and I'm about, I'm like, where is the Target? Like, where is the Vons? Like, I can't. I'm like, even this place that I picked, it's got everything I could possibly need. The Target is like 10 minutes away. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so far. Because I used to live like 5 minutes away from Target. Like, it was like, it's like those little things too actually make a huge difference.
Yeah, see, like for me, like I have to be near like my grocery stores of choice, right? And I don't just go to one grocery store. Like, I go to Trader Joe's, I go to Ralph's is my like choice, and then I go to Sprouts and Walmart and stuff, and like those need to be in the vicinity. You know what I mean? Like, because there's certain things that I get at certain places. And it's like, those just need to be nearby. Like you said, like, it just kind of reminds you of home. And it's like, and you know how you just know, like, the lay of the land of, like, each store you go into. And it's like, you just know which aisles you need to hit. You know where everything is. Like, nothing feels better than that. Like, I hate going to a new store and not knowing where anything is. Like, nothing drives me nuts more than that.
I'm having, like, a hot flash thinking about it.
You know what I mean? It's like I go into like the Ralph's by my house. I know where everything is. Like the produce is great. I go to the one by my mom's house. I'm like, what the hell? Where is everything? Like,
yeah.
And like shit just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Where things are located. You're like, why the hell is this over here and not over there? Like at our store that we go to. You know what I mean? The produce looks like crap. It's like, I don't know. You just like get so used to your store that you're just like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. And like walk the stores. Like it's like you're out looking at apartments, right? Like you're touring the apartments. You kind of drive around the area. Like literally go to the shopping centers, go into the stores, because like you walk in the store and it's like filled with grimy, weird stuff. Stuff's all over the place. The shelves are bare. It's like maybe maybe no. Yeah, I mean, you know, they can fool you on the outside, but if you actually like tour, I think it sounds silly, but like tour the shopping centers around you, because we're both kind of suburbia, like we know suburban areas, and we grew up in literally shopping centers around every corner, so it's like tour those too, because your time will be spent there. And here's the other thing, when you're moving and what to look for, I think not just so much in the environment and the area, I'm gonna die on this hill. And the things I believe that you need to splurge on are going to be your couch. Okay. And if you already have like a bed or a mattress, you're set. But like if you're trying to get a new one, or maybe that one's older, like invest in a good mattress for your new place. Like a mattress and a couch. Because if I'm at work, I'm working, I come home, what am I doing? Probably on the couch. And then what am I doing? Probably eventually in bed. A third of my life is spent in bed. And like moving is expensive. Like you could find everything else anywhere else. Swap meets, garage sales, Facebook Marketplace. Like literally whatever. You could like build your own shoebox, okay? Your couch and your mattress, like splurge on it. You had to splurge on it because that's going to make you feel comfortable and at home too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, for sure.
Splurge on those things because you spend most of your time there. I'm just like big advocate of that. At the end of the day, splurge on shit. You know what I'm saying? That's all I have to say about that.
Like, if you can, for sure. Like, we took my mom's old couch because she was getting a new one, and I was like, you know what, we can't like afford that right now, but like her
Sure.
couch is pretty comfy. It's a little worn in, but like to me, I also like we're also at this state where it's like we're not going to buy nice shit because our kids ruin everything.
Exactly.
So like this is where like my answer would actually be completely opposite, and I'm like, no, actually, I would not invest in that. Just because the kids ruin stuff, you know what I mean? It's like I have my walls in my apartment are so bare. Like there's not one thing on the walls because the kids just fuck it up. Like, and again, I'm not mad about it. Like that's just how it works, you know? But I also don't want my shit ruined. So I'm not going to put something on the wall when my son keeps kicking balls up against the wall because he loves to play soccer and he's a maniac and shit's gonna break. So like I don't have anything nice. I have nothing that I would be like pissed off if the kids ruined. You know what I mean? Because it's like there'll come a time when I will want to splurge on a couch, right? And we did that last time when we were at the other apartment complex and my kids were potty training and they pissed on it. So it's just like, I'm just like, you know what I mean? I'm just like, there's things like that I'm like, absolutely not. Like the kids have already like colored on the couch. You know what I mean? There's just like stuff like that I'm just like, no, that is definitely not something that I'm like.
Yeah, that's true. That's gonna be where our divide is. If you're maybe you're just like single or you're dating or you just have a dog, you have no kids, splurge on your shit. Okay, have some nice stuff. You deserve it. Okay, you really do
like
deserve
look like
it.
right here, right? So my mom had this huge fat cat, right? And her ass would be flopped on this shit all the time, and that's why it's fucking encaved because of her. So it's like, to me, again, it doesn't bother me. Like, yeah, would I like to have nice stuff? Of course, but I also know like it would just be too much like anxiety with the kids being around, you know what I mean? And having them like, I know they're gonna mess it up. They're like, again, that's just part of kids, you know, that's why it doesn't bother me. You know, so I'm just like, that's fine. That's like one thing that I'm not going to splurge on is like a couch, but like a bed, yes. But we've had the same bed for a while, which I find funny.
I feel like you would, but like you would splurge on rather having like an extra bedroom or like splurge on better, I don't know, like organizational stuff for the kids' room to like have their room be more functional for what they need. You know, like we're splurging on two different things because we're like completely different. Like I'm gonna come home to an empty house with just my dog in it, and it's like I'm gonna cook my own meal and lay on my own couch, and I want that to be like lovely. You know what I'm saying? I get what you're saying though. Like I wouldn't want to have a nice couch if I had kids either. I'd be like, you guys can like literally, I'll blow up a mattress. Like, like here's an air mattress. Like here's a water bed. Have fun.
Well, and the funny part is too, like same thing with the table, right? Like we didn't buy some fancy bougie table. Like we bought like $100 table, I think on like
Sure.
Walmart, I think Walmart.com or something, and it fits 6 people. Super basic, nothing nice. And like one thing I learned my lesson on was like the last table set we had, it was like super fucking nice. It was like my favorite table set we had ever bought. It had like the beautiful
What
like
happened?
it had like the really nice like buttons going around like all, and then I did like a off-white kind of beige, like, and it came with like a bench. It was just like so fire right. It was my favorite. It had like the cushions so it didn't feel like you were sitting on a freaking rock. Kids spilled shit all over the cushions. You know what I mean? Like it's just, it is what it is. And again, the kids were still potty training. I'm pretty sure one of them pissed on there or one of them was in their diaper, it went through. You know what I mean? Like it's just, it is what it is. So like this time there's no freaking cushions on these seats. They are just like the wood. And that way, you know, if something spills, I can easily wipe it off.
Yeah. They get a splinter in their ass, so be it. We pull it out later.
It's like the nice one. There's nothing of that, dude.
She's like getting the sander out after every meal.
No, literally, yeah. But it was funny because like I'm like, okay, perfect. It sits 6. There's 6 of us. We each get a seat. Perfect. That's all I needed because that's obviously something I was looking for, right? Like it had to be a 6-seater. And one thing that I learned too from like the last one is like not to get overly sized furniture, if that makes sense. Like last time our dining area was so big, it like literally took up the entire spot of where it was supposed to go, and you couldn't even fucking move.
That's kind of like, what happened with me and my couch. I'm not even gonna lie. Well,
yeah, no. You know what I mean. It's like sometimes you don't like it doesn't turn out right.
Yeah, the couch would have been fine. The real issue I've always had is this desk because I got a 84-inch countertop on a standing desk, and it's freaking huge. And if I didn't have this, like obviously the couch would be back here on the wall and like everything would be fine. I just had to like put the couch more like off the wall in the middle of the room kind of to fit this whole gigantic situation.
Right.
So that's a little bit annoying. If I had to do it over, I probably would have maybe just bought a different countertop, like a 60-incher or something to cut back some space, because then I think the couch probably could have fit alongside it, but it's like I'm not spending more money. But see, like, you splurged on a table because you wanted a place for your family to sit and eat. I literally couldn't even think about it, too. I could give a frick about a table. I don't give a damn. I sit on the couch. I'm like, I just need, like, a TV tray, basically.
Yeah, literally.
Or I could just buy, like, a stool to put over here, like, on the kitchen, like, counter, and I could eat there. But yeah, I literally
bought... I bought, like, the freaking little placemats to go on the table. And you know damn well they were cheap as hell. Got them at Ross. They were on clearance. Grabbed them because, what do you know, the first week they were absolutely destroyed.
Dude, we're getting off here, but like, what in the world? Like, I can't imagine my personality type. I like get something nice. Like, I like my place clean, whatever. And then like within a day or two, it's like to hell.
Every time.
I go to jail. Girl, I go to jail.
Every time. And honestly, like, the kids are actually pretty good at like cleaning up their stuff. You know what I mean? They're pretty good.
They're getting older.
Yeah, and I mean, they're kids. I mean, that's just what it is. You know what I mean? It's like we try to get the perfect routine down, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's like shit just gets out of control. You're in a rush all the time. It's like,
oh my God.
The only thing that was like really like that I push for is the kids, like the ice packs have to go in the freezer. Otherwise they're like not ready. I'm
like from lunch?
Yeah, like when you get home, that's the first thing that they're supposed to do. Do they always do it? Absolutely not. Like, Ryder literally didn't do it on Friday. And so shit was still in his backpack and it wasn't cold for today. I'm like, well, kind of shit out of luck, dude. Like, you guys know the rules.
PB&J with nothing else.
Yeah.
Hot vegetables.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was like, I went out to my brother's and his family's for my nephew's first communion.
Mm-hmm.
And little Lucy, my little niece, she was like, she's baby, but not baby, but young. And her little like booster high chair eating thing or whatever at the table.
You don't miss that at all.
And I'm like playing with her and I'm like, oh, it's so funny. I'm like, funny. And then she got to the stage where she started hitting things and throwing the food off the side of the tray. And I said, call your dad. And she like, Dada. And we both look at him and I'm like, she's throwing her beans on the floor, brother. He's like, are you throwing your food on the floor? And there's like a whole pile of like refried beans and rice all over the floor. I'm like, well, have fun with that one. I'm going to go over here.
Yeah. That's why if you don't have a dog, you better get one when they're that age.
Yeah, you better
throw
get
shit
one.
Everywhere. Like my dog used to have food all over her back. Because the kids would just be chucking shit left and right. And she'd like look around like looking for it. And it's like, broad, it's on your fucking back. Like it was such a mess. I don't miss that fucking high chair at all, dude. There's just like certain stages of life that I'm like, fuck the high chair. I don't miss that at all. That thing would be a freaking mess. There would just be food all up in it, like on their seat area.
In the crevices. And
yes, everywhere. It's like you think you wiped it down and like later on you're like, oh my gosh, look at this food still sitting here.
Yeah, rotten in the fucking
it's so
wrinkle.
I don't miss that at all.
And then they put their little hands out. Girl, you need we need a shower head over. We gotta get a hose.
Yeah, you have to like give a bath literally every time after.
Yeah, like so I remember that moment. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, that's not for me. I don't think. Yeah.
You're like,
you're cute as shit. Like I love the heck out of you. And when this is all clean and you're clean, I will come grab you. But until then, dad's on the clock.
Yeah,
it's so crazy. But anyway, okay, shifting back into this moving thing.
Mm-hmm.
For those of us that don't have children, but we have furry children, it's very important to know where the parks are, the vets are, the maybe like doggy daycares, which is a whole nother situation. However, maybe that's important to you. But it's like that stuff is so crucial, especially like in my situation, going back in office and then her having to be here solo for literally all day. I need parks within a 5-minute radius that I can take her to and walk her or play fetch, or like that are nice, clean, big parks that like aren't homeless encampment sites. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, that is so important. Like that was probably like number 1 on my list going into it until the location thing really kind of spun me around. And then that was probably number 2, but it was so important. Because it's like, it's her routine too. It's not just me, right? I mean, obviously, as she's dog, she's going to be fine at the end of the day. But like, I still care and she still has her routine and she's been with me for almost, you hear that? Every time they be landing in the living room. I'm like, oh, you guys, I'm busy. Anyway, so it's like, you know, her routine is off too. So it's like, I have to kind of bridge that gap with her, which maybe that sounds crazy. I don't know. Maybe that makes me weird, but I just genuinely like care.
Well, it needs to be something close too, right? Like you've been gone all day. The last thing you want to do is go drive 30 minutes to a damn park. It's like you need something in like a 5-minute radius where it's like you can run her over there, let her play, get 100%. Some energy out. You know what I mean?
It's literally, I come out of my apartment, I go right at the light, I go down one light, second light, I go right. I see the panoramic view of the ocean, and the park is right there. It's like, is that not the most amazing, beautiful thing? No, it
I
is.
love a good view.
Like, literally, and like, granted, because I'm so close to work, because I picked the right location, I can come home at lunch.
That's another thing.
I literally will have like 45 minutes here. I could literally take her to that park for 20 minutes, go on a 20-minute walk. Like, it's just those little things that are going to make life so much easier on the transition and just more enjoyable too, like for both of us, and like less stressful.
And like you said, it's still somewhat closer to your routine. You know what I mean? Where you could still make that happen.
But if anybody has moved or is moving that has tips on dogs adjusting to you being gone for a long time, let me know. I mean, by the time this goes up, we'll be able to add it for like a couple weeks, and maybe I'll have an update eventually. But I'm very stressed out about it because doggy daycare. See you later. I'm not selling a kidney to send her there. So it's like so insane. I gotta go sell some eggs. Maybe I should do that. Sell some eggs, get some cash.
Wait, let's switch gears a bit. I want to know, what are your like make or breaks for the inside, or I guess the apartment in general, like things like that?
For me, it was washer and dryer in the unit, like literally non-negotiable.
Yeah, non-negotiable.
I can't be. I'm not a college dorm freshman anymore. I can't be putting all my dirty clothes in a laundry basket, swinging it over my shoulder, walking half a mile, sharing a room with God knows who. I'm not doing it. That was like the one thing that was a non-negotiable for me personally. The second thing for me was like parking and like car space. Like, I really wanted to find a unit that I could have a garage, because I have a motorcycle and I have my car, and I wanted to be able to like put the bike behind the car in the garage and have a little bit of storage or whatever. I will say I ended up at a place that I don't have that, but there is a parking garage, and I have a pretty good spot, and there's like a slot next to it where I could pull the bike into, because no one's next to me on the right side. So like, it was okay for me, and it's like gated, so I felt a little bit better about it. So like, I was willing to kind of compromise on that. But I would say those are probably the top two things that were like non-negotiables. I will say this apartment though, something I didn't think about that has actually been the best thing ever as a feature: water and ice in the door of the fridge. Like,
do you really?
I don't need a Brita. I don't need bottles of water.
I'm jealous.
I just go up there and I get ice. I get water. I'm like, this is nice. Like, it truly is, because the apartments I had before that obviously didn't have that. I think it's pretty rare. And so I'm like getting bottles of water. I'm getting Brita, and then I have to change the filter. And then like the water kind of tastes weird most of the time anyway. And I'm like, I wasn't even thinking. And then I moved in. I'm like, oh my God. Or I toured. I'm like, wait, there's water on the fridge. And I was like so stoked about that.
That's a good one.
Yeah, no, that is like, that was a like cherry on top, where like, it was just like, I wasn't even thinking about it until I saw it, and then I was like, holy shit, that is actually so nice.
Yeah.
But I would say those three things, like those two non-negotiables and then that one surprise. Everything else just kind of bonus. Like, obviously I don't want to spend what I'm spending in rent and have the place look old as shit inside. So, I mean, granted, this is like beautiful finishes. They didn't really skimp on much besides the blinds, but that's a whole nother story. That pissing me off. Like, you see through freaking blinds. Like, what the hell? Anyway, I'm gonna get some curtains. I shouldn't have to do that, but that is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
I feel like my non-negotiable are those two as well. It has to have a washer, dryer, and a fridge. Like, because I know a lot of complexes, like the older ones, they don't have fridges. I'm like, no, like we need a fridge.
Isn't it a law now?
I have no
idea. In California,
idea.
I think it's a law that like landlords have to provide fridges to the tenants.
I don't know.
I think.
But anyways, that's definitely on the list if it's not a law. So washer, dryer, fridge. It definitely has to have minimal carpet. I feel like that's a huge one for me, especially with like the kids and stuff. Like, if it's on this, like if there's stairs and it's on the stairs, I'm fine with that. If it's in the rooms, I guess I'm okay with that. But like the main like area of living, no, can't have the carpet. Like, it's gotta go. And I feel like a lot of places are doing that now, which is nice. So
it's nice, but also like, since I'm on the first floor, and I don't think any unit, there's 4 floors, I don't think any unit has carpet, and so it's like I can hear.
Well, yeah, because they have to have something to kind of like, so you don't hear it, you know.
But I don't know what they have.
No, I don't think they're allowed to have wood flooring, honestly, on any other floors besides the first floor. But you know what's so funny too, as I don't know, I feel like I go back and forth with this one, but like being where there's people above you or below you, now that I'm so used to it now, because like we're in like a townhome, and it's like I have nobody below me and I have nobody above me, and it's beautiful. I don't have to yell at my kids and stop running. I don't have to be pissed off that the people above me are loud as fuck. Like that was at our old apartment complex before we moved to the third floor, because I was like, never again am I going where there's somebody above me, because I had such a bad experience before that. There was like they were partying all the time. It was like, dude, I'm like, it's freaking 10 o'clock at night. I have kids. Like, you're loud as shit. Like, they're out on their patio smoking so freaking loud. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And that's where there was no carpet either. It was all flooring. So you could hear everything. You could hear where they were in the house. You would just look up and you knew exactly where they were.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So, like, I took a Swiffer and I was pounding the ceiling. And I'm like, this is not happening. Luckily, they got evicted because they weren't paying their rent. But I'm like,
shocking.
I told myself, never again am I ever doing that where there's somebody above me. Can't do it.
I will say, like, I don't think there's a world in which, like, my apartment, for example, is 4 stories. I do not believe there's a world in which I would live in the second or third. I'm not going to be sandwiched between, like, for me, there's people above me. Okay, but, like, to be honest with you, I hear the people directly above me. What they're doing on the 3rd or 4th floor, I don't fucking know. I don't really hear that shit, right? I just hear what's right above me. So it's like, I have one person above me. Is it great? No. But it's like, also, I wasn't about to spend $400 more to be up on the 4th floor. So I'm like, it's totally livable. And I'm not very sensitive to that stuff, so I don't really care. But like, you will not catch me sandwiched in between. You're telling me I'm getting noise from the bottom and the top? No. I'd rather just have one or the other. So I'm either on the 4th floor and I can hear you below me, or I'm on the 1st floor and I hear you above me. Like, I'm not... The idea of being sandwiched, can't do it.
Well, it's weird because now that we have, you know how it is, like you get to certain places, I feel like certain apartment complexes or wherever you're living, and then I feel like you get so spoiled with like the little things that you get used to, and then thinking about moving out of that and like having to like not have that anymore, you know what I mean? I feel like that's what like this layout specifically, I'm like, I don't know how we're gonna top this layout. Like, there's no way. Like, we literally have the attached garage, go up a flight of stairs. We have the laundry room. We have a half bath, the kitchen, the family room, living, you know what I mean? And then we go up to the 3rd story with another flight of stairs, and there's the rooms up there. And it's like, I could never imagine it differently now. You know what I mean? It's like, it's so weird. It's like, now I'm used to this layout that I'm like, and I've never seen this layout anywhere else.
Right.
Like, this complex has so many different layouts. I was shocked.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because, like, I'm in one of those apartments where it's, like, all inside. So, like, it's, like, literally, like, hotel halls. Like, my door
That's
looks
what
like...
our last one was, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like an interior of a resort. And I've always had... When I lived on my own, the 2 apartments I had, I was, like, those, like, outdoor one where you kind of parked basically under the carport and walked up or whatever up to your door. And it's, like, whatever. It's, like, just your door, not a hallway. And now I'm, like, kind of getting used to the hallway vibes. And I'm kind of like, this feels like... And it's probably just not true, but it feels more safe and like secure. And so now I'm thinking like at this point, it's like, okay, I'm most likely 95% moving out of here. So it's like, am I going to need that again? I don't know. I mean, probably not, but you start to think about that stuff too.
Well, that's how it was.
And then the thought of having to move again, like, shoot me. Dude.
No, I know.
Oh my God.
Because our old one was the same thing. We were indoors, but I liked it because we were at the end. So there was like it was opened at the end, so you could see out. You could still get like the breeze coming in, you know what I mean? Like we were at the very end, so you could like see that kind of stuff, which was nice. I did like how they had a parking structure, which was nice, and whatever floor you were on was whatever floor you would be on for the parking structure, which was nice. So it's like we could just drive up to the 3rd and then just go through the hallways with our shit. Like it's not like we had to go up 3 flights of stairs. There was that option if you wanted to, but like for here, I love it. Our door's actually on the street. So it's like we park and we literally just walk right to our door, and it's
like
right
a house.
there.
It feels more like a home.
It does, and I think that's why I like it so much. Like it doesn't feel like I'm living in an apartment, and I do love we have a pool view on our patio. That's really nice. The pool's literally you like walk right across the street a couple steps and you're there, so that's nice.
Yeah, it's so funny to me like listening to too, because I'm like we are so like opposite in life, because like yours feels like a home, right? It's like you have the garage, you have the space to yourself, the townhouse vibe, the kids, they can come in through the street, they can play, they can like whatever, right? It's like very homey. And for me, I'm like, I like this like secluded, don't bother me, like nobody's running up and down the halls, like I don't see kids anywhere. I mean, I saw a kid like a couple days ago outside, but that's like whatever, you know what I mean? I was like, I don't see, like, I feel like exclusive, I feel like I'm at peace, like it's like a resort, like I'm just doing my thing. And it's like, that is important to me. Like, that is fun to me. That is like, I love that about it. But like, if I had a family or whatever, I would love that. Like, open the garage door straight to my house vibes, or the house, like the front door is like the front door of like a home, and it's like on the sidewalk. You know what I mean? Like, that's cool. Like, if I had that with a family, I would love that. But that by myself, I'd be like, no, I want like luxury. I want the other stuff. I want like I want to feel like nobody can get to me. Like, that's where I'm at right now. But I love it.
But parking's huge, like you said. Like that's
So
number
big.
one thing you have to look. Like the
You guys
complexes
have
on
to
the
look at
street,
parking.
They're all parked on the street. Like the whole street. I'm like, you could not pay me to come home late at night with my kids and I'm running across a main road to get to my apartment complex. There's no way in hell.
You have to ask about parking, and you got to take it a step further. You got to ask about guest parking.
Yeah, you got to figure out
because
all
a lot of these places, like I went and I would ask, and they're like, "Oh, you only get like 10 guest permits a month." I'm like, so only 10 people can visit. Like, I mean, it seems like a lot, but like,
right.
I don't know if you have a big social life or you're in a relationship and someone's coming to spend the weekend with you. It's like 3 weekends, and it's like they don't have a permit anymore. It's like, okay, well, cool. So it's like you got to ask those questions, or like parking, like, is it included? You got to pay extra for it. A lot of these people are like, oh yeah, we have covered parking. Oh yeah, we have. And then you like get to the lease. It's like, oh yeah, the covered parking is an extra $75 a month. And you're like, okay. Luckily for me, like mine's included. Like I don't pay anything extra to have my garage spot. I don't have to pay for my bike up there, whatever. Like I don't have to pay for parking.
I feel like that's unheard of.
I don't have to pay for it.
Yeah, like ours is $30, and that's just for like just a resident parking. That's not like a reserve. Yeah. It's like you just get a pass, and that's what you have to, you know,
like first come first serve.
Yeah, basically. And then like Alex gets to park in the garage, and so like at least it's nice in the sense of like we only have to find one spot and not two, which is nice. And they do have security that comes at night, and like they will tow your car if you don't have the permit. So
that's nice.
That's also nice.
Yeah, I think like having
big, you have to find the parking. That's huge.
So big. I feel like people really neglect that. Yeah, I feel like people are so caught up in like, again, like the location and what the amenities are and like how this is going to work, and then they kind of forget about thinking about parking. And again, like a step beyond that, it's the guests too. Like you want people to be able to come to your house,
right?
It's like they can't be parking on like the street of like or across a freeway or some dumb shit. Like that's these places like you be paying an arm and leg to live here, and they can't even give you some parking. Like make the parking better.
See, to me, I feel like amenities are a plus, but it's not like I'm like, oh, I have to have them. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, it's a plus. Like, it's nice to be able to know, like, okay, there's a gym literally across the street right here. And then they do have, like, a little doggy spa, which I thought was so cool. That was, like, a cherry on top. So I can go, like, walk my dog over there, throw her ass in the tub, wash her. They have, like, that full-blown, like, blow dryer to blow dry her and stuff, like they do at the dog spas and shit. And, like, that was cool. They have, like, a little area where you can wash your car. You just have to bring your own hose, but they have, like, the whole setup and, like, this whole parking spot thing and stuff. So that's pretty cool. So, like, those little things I thought were, like, okay, that's pretty sick, actually.
Yeah. I mean, when you start to add the amenities, like, the rent might be much higher than other places, but it's like, okay, I'm saving on maybe a gym membership because this gym is so nice, has everything I need. I'm saving on, like, a co-working space, maybe if I worked remote that I was, like, paying for to go places and work because the clubhouse or the office spaces or workspaces here are nice. Or, like, the pet spa. Mine has a pet spa. Mine has a cycle room where, like, I can go and bring my, like, actual bicycle, my pedal bike. Like, I can lock it up in there and I don't have to worry about storing it anywhere else. Like, I can put that in there, like, no additional cost to, like, get a spot in there. Like, little things like that, like, do add up.
For
like,
sure.
If I can not have to take my dog to the groomer because I can wash her in between her haircuts myself, I'm going to save hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, the rent looks crazy on paper, but by the time you add in all that stuff, plus the $1,500 off I got for look and lease, plus the 2 months of free I got, it's like, it was kind of an absolute no-brainer.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's the thing, like, run your freaking numbers too. Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
out in your
run the numbers, you know? And I caught myself doing this too, where I was like, and you had to kind of snap me out of it, but it was like, you got to pick like 2 or 3 and just like zone in. Stop looking for other places. Like, you're just going to get to, it's like swiping on
like
dating apps.
Options.
It's like, that's genuinely what it's like. It's like, okay, could this work? Yeah, but I don't know.
That'd be kind of cool though, low-key, if they had an app for that. Like, you could like swipe right, like you want to see more of that, and then like swipe left because you don't want to see anything that's like that. You know
I think
what I mean?
they do though. I think I used it. It was like Hot Pads or something like that, where it was like the same thing where it would show you an apartment and like the things you put in as like what you wanted, and then you would go left or right based off like that, and then it would like keep track of it all for you, and then you could like
well, that's cool.
Them. And it was kind of, they think of everything.
I know.
I'm like, damn, they think of everything. Like, what could I invent? That's not already invented.
I know.
Like the retractable Sharpie, like who thought of that back in the day? I'm like, why did that take so long?
I know. Some random shit people come up with. You're just like,
no,
damn.
I know, and then they're like freaking rich as shit.
I know.
Sounds cool. I'm happy for them. So happy for them. Okay, what else? Maybe doctors, depending on what you got going on in your life. Like doctors, gyms, stuff like that around your area are important. And then just the people. Like when you're touring the apartment, like try to run into some of the people that live there and see what they look like. Like when I was walking around here, I saw a plethora of people my age, like young professionals, not a ton of families, like maybe couples, a lot of dogs. But for the most part, like it was really people like me. And I think that made a big difference too. You know, like one tour I went to, like I literally pulled in and there's like 5 kids on their little bikes between the apartments, like playing. So I love that for them, but I'm like, no, thank you. Not for me. Not right now. You know, it's like, I love seeing kids be kids and play. I love that. But like for me personally, I was like, I don't really, no, thank you. Like I saw for the first time, I've been here for 2 weeks. The first time I saw my across the hall neighbor like walk into his apartment. I so literally, funny. Every time I go out there, I never see anyone in the hallway. I'm like, are we leaving the apartments or no?
I know. Like, is anyone
it's crazy.
Here?
It's so crazy, but also part of the reason. God, are we under attack? Can you hear it as loud as it is? That's so crazy. I'm under attack over here. God dang. Every like 5 seconds. Check the news. Anything else you want to rapid fire it, or we think we covered it?
No, I think that was pretty much it. I feel like we got like the main things, at least for what I look for sure.
Yeah. And the big takeaway too is like, don't spend on shit that you could literally just get when you get there.
Yeah.
Like, don't buy things because you think you need them to then pack them to then pay movers or your own time and a U-Haul or whatever to then move to the place where you could like literally just find it wherever you're going.
Well, and you want to make sure it's going to fit your place too. Like everything has a different layout. Everything has, you know what I mean? Just different spacing. It's like, I feel like the couch is the huge thing that you always have to be so careful about, because it's like, oh, I might need an L-shaped one for this place, but then the next place I go to, I can only have like one that goes straight. You know what I mean? Because it won't fit correctly, or it's got to be the other way L-shaped. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so crazy. Like little things like that. You're like, well, wait, shit, is this going to work? Like, is this like a universal couch?
Literally, to go off of that, like any place you tour, be asking them for the room dimensions, like in an email, like a PDF format, so you have it. So then you can go shopping and think about, okay, is this gonna fit here? Is this not gonna fit here? Versus like, granted, you could, I guess, measure every space you go into and take your own notes, but it's like at the end of the day, they should have it for you. So like in your email communication with the ones you're serious about, like if you're down to 3 or 4, ask them for the PDF room dimensions, because that really could sway you.
Well, I feel like what I did also too is like when we went to a new place, I got the dimensions of like the couch or whatever, and I asked to come back and actually see the place again that we were gonna get. And then I would literally take blue tape, like painter's tape, and I would lay it out on the ground to like show, okay, this is how far it's gonna come out, or like this is how far or close it's gonna be to the wall, you know, things like that. And I feel like that gave me a better idea, so I'm not like going in like,
I hear it now
do you
too.
hear
See, we're under attack. Put the news on. What's going on?
That never happened.
Should we take cover? Did the chemical thing blow up in Garden Grove yet, or what?
Dude, I don't know, but that's crazy. Like sometimes I'll hear helicopters if there's like a fire, because they go to the reservoir next to my house and grab water, and like I'll hear that, but that was definitely not a freaking helicopter. That sounded like a damn plane. That was weird. Anyways, but yeah, I think those were good.
Yeah, I love it. If you guys have any that we missed, let me know, because I'm gonna have to move. Stupid. Anyway, let us know. Go to our Instagram, is at pointblank.nl, and let us know what your kind of tips are when you're moving. And we'll catch you in the next episode. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.